What's up, people? Welcome to Members Only. Now, if you're familiar with this channel, you'll know that we ain't hit the South in a minute, so tonight we're going to talk about trap royalty, a family that came from nothing. Now, what y'all know about Las Vegas Eric, Michi, Chicken Wing? Generational wealth from the streets. They had a good product and made it very convenient for the buyers. Yo Gotti soaked up a lot of game being a part of the family by marriage. His unmarried Las Vegas Eric and Gotti grew up seeing everything that came with the game. Gotti and them were just some spoiled kids that came from Bovan royalty, getting their Christmas gifts wrapped with money, getting picked up and dropped off from school in big body Benzes with the curtains. When school let out, it was like a car show. Every other day, kids would post up when school let out just to see what kind of car they was being picked up in that day. Yo Gotti saw the ups, the shopping sprees, the downs, the indictments, losing it all, getting involved in something he didn't really have to be a part of, but he was just following the blueprint that made him a successful man today. Let's just hope he stays away from the BS. Now, this organization had the streets in the chokehold getting boatloads. Just too much weight to move in Tennessee. They had so much snow coming in, they had to get legit family members to quit their jobs to help with the movement. Back then, it was hard to even find jobs that paid top dollar. So I wouldn't blame anyone for taking a risk for a better life. They had weight moving to Florida, California, Nevada, Michigan, Maryland, and more states. They had a nice situation going on. They had more work than labor ready. They gave out jobs to everyone from old people to underage kids. Kids started making more money than their own parents. Now, they really made more millionaires than the lotto did. See, when you got with the fam, you felt like you belonged to something. As long as you kept your mouth shut, you was cool. If you got picked up out of law, you was coming home before dinner got cold. They had a whole stash just for bail money and lawyer fees. They had stash houses that were just for holding money. They had law enforcement in their back pockets, not just in Tennessee, but in other states they were operating in. But Memphis is where they set their mark. Club No Name was a hot spot where you could catch most of the action. DJ Spanish Fly would be rocking on the turntables. This was back when everyone would be on the dance floor getting it. None of this lame stuff going on in today's time where everyone's standing around looking cool, being on their phones. What if I told you the hustlers were spending less money in the clubs back in the day compared to today's time? And back then, the females would leave with you. Nowadays, y'all spend money on sections just to sit there. Females drink up all y'all stuff and, you'll go home with nothing. But let me not get off track. The Bovans will be seen on the dance floor hitting the G-Walk, which most say they are the inventors of the dance. Now, every time those dudes left the house, there was a movie. You already know what it was, seeing those machines outside of Crystal Palace. This was the 1980s. They had the best Benzes with the AMG kits. Custom convertibles flying around, Lamborghini action. You know you was getting it when you driving something you can't even spell. Eric Bovan had a car for every day of the week. Eric and Michi used to have their last name Bovan writing on a license plate. Now, in the life, no 2 days are alike unless it's the 1st and the 15th. They had people form Soul Train lines on the sidewalks to cop those brown baggies. They sold everything under the sun. Different trap spots selling each individual thing. Security on deck with machine guns playing the cut, ensuring the smokers get their shot in peace. They was taking big money, small money, all money, making it very affordable to the customers. Now, of course, in the game dealing with so much money, everyone just couldn't make it. They went to war with the best of them. The machine gun battles was something serious, and they brought the noise to your front step. They even had women out there spraying machine guns. It was real. They went all out for that last name, and you can't take nothing away from that. I'm talking about shooters hopping out of limos with suits on, getting busy. Now, being that they was the richest family in the neighborhood, they treated everyone with respect. It was hard for them to blend in with all the stunting they was already doing, on top of being the only family with a brick fence with their initials in it. But everywhere they went, they took care of the hood, and the hood took care of them. Having eyes everywhere, the old ladies were even used as lookouts. When the feds was on the Bovans, they would attach tracking devices on their vehicles. Less than 5 minutes, the devices were removed. They knew the feds were watching and began to get cocky because they wasn't aware of the numbers the government was getting ready to hit dealers with during the time. The numbers were shocking to all hustlers. More and more dealers would begin to flip. In the beginning, they knew they would get some time, and that was okay as long as they would come home to their money in a couple of years and their family was straight. Well, guys started to come home with nothing, and law enforcement was showing lots of love, hitting guys with double the amount of time, on top of seizing everything that they got over the years. And the crazy part is that they had a sheriff that was on payroll, and he ended up giving them up because he wanted a position with the state. Now, when the cartel found out about that, they made him off himself. But the game was the game. Now, the goal was to make as much money as you can, so you have guys that would just look the other way. I could tell you right now that there isn't one guy that ever been in the game that played by the rules. But anyway, it's crazy that the average grandfather that had a 9-to-5 is forgotten about, especially if he didn't leave a company or any type of money behind to stamp that last name. Now, there was a lot of snitch allegations involving Eric Bovan, but when it comes to the family, you can't tell them nothing. He took risks to create that generational wealth, so no matter what, his picture will be on that wall of the Bovan's household for generations. Yes, the game changed over the years. Of course, that's just what happens. What the family was built off of wasn't represented correctly. Not only with the snitch allegations, it was the way the younger ones was moving. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Jook wasn't hated by so many. What y'all heard about him not paying for hits is just a small part of the treachery. How many times Jook ran off on a plug and Gotti had to stand with him, no matter how much he disagreed with it because that was his brother. He put everyone around him in dangerous situations. Like, you know how many times that Gotti had to clean up situations because of Jook, messing up business relationships? You can only hide behind your family and brother's money for so long. And we all saw the outcome and the results if you decide to be a selfish person and do everyone around you just wrong. Like, you know what type of person you have to be for someone to want to get rid of you at a funeral? Like, he continued to make things hot for the entire family, time after time. That's why spoiled kids cannot be a part of the street life. But we ain't gonna get it too deep into it. Maybe later, but if you like the video, hit the like button. Don't be a stranger, jump in the comments, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is members only. We don't ask for much over here. But y'all be safe out there. I'm out.